Hello all and welcome back to our channel, and today we are here to do our ever first recorded beer tasting. For any of you who watched our previous video, you might have seen what potentially our first tasting is about, and our guest will be to the shelf. Chris, if you don't mind.
Here we go. Been looking forward to this all day.
Oh, haven't we both? So then, what have we got here? So this is Fuller's Red Fox. Fuller's been originated from 1845. Red Fox is their tawny red ale, so it's more for that type of beer to try throughout autumn periods going into the winter. I believe, Chris, so you've got more of a background knowledge on this brewery.
Well, Fuller's can actually see its links all the way back to Oliver Cromwell, 1650, English Civil War, and strangely, where we're filming today, there's some links. The window actually looks over Cromer Hill, which is where Cromwell apparently camped before the Battle of Hopton Heath. And a few decades back, a Cavalier sword was found in the hedgerow a couple of fields over from where we are. So we all have links. Even funnier, though, is obviously in the 18th century, they were all a bit dodgy with their mortgages. And this is where Fuller's ended up in Fuller's, because somebody did some dodgy mortgage stuff. And interesting again, with the place where we're filming today, a captain in the army remortgaged what is effectively a cottage 5 times over and actually bought a townhouse in Charlotte Square, Edinburgh. And if any of you actually know the price of housing in Charlotte Square, Edinburgh, you can see that was a huge fraud. Anyway, it's interesting having those links. And really, as Luke said, Fuller's itself really started in 1845. It's a brewery I've been fond of for 40 odd years, so I'm looking forward to this. And apparently Fuller's, which was a family brewery, now is owned by a company called Asahi UK. Okay, Luke, time for you to do the honours. Let's get into the best bit of this job.
The most exciting bit. Listen for that lovely crack as you open it up.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Oh, there's beautiful smells coming off there right this minute.
I have to admit, I rather like the colour of that.
The colour of that looks amazing. Oh my, and the nose as well.
Well, I hate to say it, an older nose maybe takes a bit longer, but I'm looking forward to this.
And mind you guys, this is a blind tasting, so we have no clue what to expect from this.
Oh, I'm getting red berries.
Oh, red berries. And I'd also say it reminds you of being a bit of chestnut in there, winter spice. That's incredible.
Oh, it's definitely autumnal. Definitely an autumnal flavour.
Being your autumn red beer. It's a very...
Oh, that looks like a really good sherried whiskey, actually.
Yeah. I would say that is definitely thinking of Bramley apples, a bit of maltness to it. Definitely, the perks of winter. I'm thinking Christmas pudding with a bit of custard poured over it.
I'm actually thinking of bonfire night.
Interesting.
It isn't ginger, but there's like those flavours that you associate. So apples, toffee apples. Definitely an autumnal warmer. I have to admit, I would love to try this on cask.
Would this be a beer that you'd love to try down at the pub or something?
Oh gosh, yeah. If this was on cask, this could be brilliant. It's been a bottle, a little bit too gassy for my liking, but yeah. So I could enjoy this. And the strange thing is, if I looked at a bottle and it says, what does it say? Tawny red. I like my beers brown, dark, stout. I hate yellow-coloured beers, but invariably you find colour isn't really what it's about. It's the flavour, and this, I mean, that could be a good sherried whiskey.
Oh, God, yeah, definitely.
It makes me think This could be poured. I mean, this is definite autumnal winter drinking.
So I think it'd be interesting now to find out, guys, what actually are the tasting notes for this beer. Okay, so definitely tawny and coloured, which me and Chris, believed on.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a beautiful lace which runs down. Features forest fruit, which again we picked up.
There, yeah.
Picked on the nose. While the taste offers biscuit and caramel.
Toffee apple go into biscuit. Well, we got the caramel.
We got the
right.
caramel.
I'm not sure either of us are necessarily thinking biscuit. Well, I certainly am not thinking biscuit.
I mean, I'm not getting that biscuit, taste or aftertaste or anything. But for our first tasting, I'm very impressed. Very impressed. There is a lot also on the aftertaste of a tang of blackberry, toast, and marmalade. So
I'd definitely go towards the marmalade.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about, well, they said blackberry toast, but presuming blackberry jam, I'd definitely go, could get a bit of toast and marmalade on there. Really quite bitter Seville orange.
Yes,
that's where I'd go.
And personally, I'd say, Fuller's have done here a fantastic beer that, is perfect for this time of the year, to be fair. Something for the warming nights if you've got the fire lit or something, just it just makes you think of, autumn colours, winter. I think it's beautiful beer.
4.3% means you can have one or two of them.
Yeah, so I'd say there, it's worth having as a session beer and all that stuff, But no, I'm loving it.
Thank you. With my Scottish background, to actually say that I've always liked Fuller's ESB or London Pride, but yeah.
So
it might be third one that's really nice.
So it might be worth now, guys, to tell you about what's our next sample going to be. Okay, everyone, it's time now to move on to our next beer taste, and I honestly can't wait to try this one.
No, can I? I can remember the first time I tried this. I don't know how long ago that was, though.
So our next one that we're sampling is Fuller's Extra Special Bitter at 5.9%. So a bit of a stronger one this one is, guys. Let's listen for that crack. Oh, amazing. And it's going to be interesting to see what the colour comparison is going to be once I've poured this in against the red ale. Ooh. Bit more golden, I would say.
Yeah, that's golden. I have to admit, I was thinking that would be a little bit redder than that, but I don't know if you put the two together, it makes a huge amount of difference. You put the light, get the light.
You get the light on it.
And it definitely is different.
So I think let's have a look, see what we get on the nose. Again, another blind test this is, guys.
I have to admit, I don't remember ever having a bottle of ESB. Certainly
on draft. I'm personally picking up there, Chris. I'm definitely getting, to me, it's more fruity when you can compare it to the red ale that we've just had. Fruity. You're definitely getting the bitter texture.
Oh, that's, to me, sweeter, smoother, more rounded.
A lot more sweeter. I'd say it's very moreish. I wouldn't say, though, it's highly bitter in my mind.
No, it's not. I actually think that, to me, there's a hint of licorice in there.
Yeah, I'm thinking
there's a hint of licorice.
I'll probably
Which do I prefer?
I know it's difficult to say, but to be fair as well, I'm actually also picking up a bit more of a herby texture, more like grass.
Yeah, I could get that on the nose. Yeah. I could get that on the nose, definitely.
So I think it's worth, guys, finding out what are the actual tasting notes on Extra Special Bitter. As I say, 5.9%. Definitely only recommend you guys to have one. So the states it's a deep mahogany colour. So again, rather a bit like the red ale.
Yeah, I could go with that.
So it's got a delicate bitterness to it, which, to be fair, as I say, there's not really that much of a strong bitter kick to it, which is quite nice because some people, when they drink a bitter and it has that bit of a kick to it, it kind of just takes the taste away. So we're also going for there's a lot of hops which have been thrown into this one. So we've got North Down Challenger, Target, and Goldings hops. So again, I'm not really picking up a hoppy
Well,
texture.
I'm wondering if that's where I'm, and don't get me wrong, because beer is not my forte, but I'm wondering if that's where you get this kind of, there's almost to my mind this melded together flavour texture, and I'm wondering if that's coming off the
Yeah,
hops.
it does make you wonder. Obviously, the most important bit is extra special bitter. So, it's a British beer. Bitters being one of the most, famous styles of beer which have been around the UK for ages. You know, you got the likes of Bass, Pedigree, you name it. These are the heart of what made England such a great country for making best beer and all that. So this beer right here is the heart of London. You know,
No,
if I had to recommend it, you know what? Definitely try it, guys.
yeah,
Both of them.
I would do both. I think both have sufficiently different flavours that you can mix it up a
Yeah.
bit. That I have to admit, I'm an ESB man. I'm going to let my prejudice, my bias, because I don't like red beers,
Yeah.
um, and that's my fault. Which is an interesting thing because when you read tasting notes, or even for that, taste them yourself, it's often very much has something to do with how you feel
Yeah.
on the day.
Yeah.
It can change dramatically. You could have something today, taste it tomorrow, and it's totally different. So it's how you feel. It's what you recently ate or whatever. It could be, maybe we should have done the other way
Yeah.
round,
That's it.
but I don't think so.
No.
I think comparing the two, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That is now. You should try that, Luke. That is so much more fruitier.
Yeah.
That I
That's
mean
picked
that
up
that
more
has
fruit.
actually changed
Yeah.
completely.
It'll be interesting, Chris, to see what our audience think as well. If
Mm.
they've actually tried this beer, you know, if you haven't, or even if you have, why not drop it down in our comments on our channel, and then obviously we can find
Well, we
out and
can see
compare
see
it.
see see what the thoughts are.
Yeah.
What's the spectrum of thoughts on this?
But
Uh,
no, today, as I say, it's all been about, obviously why Fuller's makes, such, good beer and all that. Most importantly, we're trying two fantastic classic beers, and as I say, we can't recommend them enough. So I'd say there's only one thing for it, Chris. Cheers.
Cheers.